Let's go!
Broke it up, batted down. Oklahoma wins it.
It's Red River Week, baby. This game is kicking off at high noon. No more joking around, though. We've got tackle football to talk about. Can this Oklahoma offense stop what is one of the best offenses in all of college football, which, of course, is Texas? So the first thing we're going to cover today is pre-snap motion, okay? So you hear that term all the time, and essentially what pre-snap motion is, do you send someone running before the snap, okay? And what this does is, number one, it helps the quarterback determine what kind of coverage it is. And number two, it's giving the defense a different look, okay? So you see the Oklahoma defense is communicating whose man is who. And overall, Oklahoma's defense really did a good job of slowing down Auburn's putrid offense. But you'll notice they're still communicating and still trying to figure out whose matchup is whose, okay? Now, what you'll see is this is a really good receiver, five-star true freshman Cam Coleman. This DB does have a leverage advantage, though, because Cam Coleman is going cross-field. He loses that leverage. Cam Coleman gets underneath him, and on the play action fake, these are my two favorite things marrying together. I'm a big pre-snap motion guy. I'm a big play action guy. This is an easy read. Even Peyton Thorne can complete this. And you'll see that midway through the play, the corner who is trailing him or the safety runs into his own guy. So all that motion creates even more traffic as you find your way through this defense, and bang, you get an explosive play. And what is absolutely critical is you make this tackle, and you don't. All right, you've got to make those plays. So the weird thing is Auburn didn't run much pre-snap motion versus Oklahoma, only 6% of the time. Texas on the season, 15% of the time do they run pre-snap motion. So roughly 1 out of every 6 plays. Now, the problem is Oklahoma's not played a whole lot of teams that run pre-snap motion. Tennessee doesn't hardly at all. They have the lowest pre-snap motion rate, and Oklahoma themselves have low pre-snap motion rate. So that's something they don't see a whole lot of in practice. So this is obviously a different type of motion, but you notice it does change the assignments, okay? You see they're communicating, trying to figure out whose guy is who, but you'll see on the motion here, the corner is thinking, hey, this is going to be my guy. Instead, with the motion, the safety now has to guard the slot, and now the corner has to pick up 11, okay? So guess what? Texas runs the same thing. Pre-snap motion mixed in with the play action fake, and they're running a deep over. Oklahoma fans, you're going to see a lot of this versus Texas, and guess what? The DB opens his hips. Wide receivers running across the field. Arch Manning steps up in what's a good pocket. And guess what? He hits the deep over. So I expect to see a lot of this versus this Oklahoma defense that's really good. One thing that they are not necessarily known for is just the absolute fastest foot speed on defense. But unlike Oklahoma, the tackle was made on Jonte Cook. And then this is obviously from the game last year, pre-snap motion on 4th and 2. And guess what? This is absolutely sexy stuff. Play action fake, married to it. And all you need to do if you're Ewers is break the pocket and find a wide open tight end who went to go get some cotton candy at the state fair to come back to catch this football. Are you kidding me? You don't want walk-ins in a rivalry game. So you get another big Auburn play here with some pre-snap motion, but this time it's just passed off pretty well. Like the coverage on the back end of everything is good here, but you do have to worry about the QB run game. Now, this gets into a slippery slope if you are an Oklahoma fan, and I want you to comment down below. Who do you prefer to play in this game? Would you prefer to play Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning? We get some more pre-snap motion here. I don't know. I really don't know because, I'm a bigger fan of Arch than I am Quinn Ewers, and Arch, of course, is playing really well. But Ewers overall has played well versus Oklahoma, and on top of that, he has been really good in big games, right? So I don't know. Obviously, Arch gives you more in the run game, but Quinn Ewers in a big game last year versus Washington was actually a pretty incredible runner. See right here on this 3rd and 7 that Quinn can also run some if given the opportunity. Once again, I would highly recommend you go watch our Washington film study from last year. Quinn in a big game, going up against a defense with time to prepare. And guess what? That pump fake that Mahomes is known for, it always fools linebackers. It does. Now, Quinn did have a huge fumble on a scramble last year in this game.
We did a good job of affecting Ewers last year. If you don't get to Quinn Ewers, he will pick you apart.
Now, that podcaster was right. I mean, that's all that guy's known for, right, is this podcasting. Play action mixed with pre-snap motion. Again, changes the math here on who's guarding who. And, well, Quinn Ewers, like the podcaster just said, play action, if you can't get pressure on you, he's just going to pick you apart. And, of course, Whittington, really good receiver, rookie in the NFL right now. You'll see this time that there is pressure, and Quinn Ewers does make a mistake. And where Ewers has issues at times is, of course, locking in. He's not been as bad as that this season. But when you get pressure right in his lap, he gets very antsy. You'll see that he has his front leg planted, and then this back leg gets a little freaky, right? And he's not throwing with a lot of velocity. He's throwing off his tippy toes, and this corner is just sitting on it, and that's just going to get picked 12 times out of 10. So it's not like just vicious pressure that you need to give him. It's just pushing him back and not making him comfortable. The one thing Oklahoma really struggled with in this game last year was just keeping a hard edge, right? Whether it was in the pass game, there was a lot of instances where Ewers was just able to roll out right and just have all day to loft the ball for a deep completion. And then also in the run game, right? So this end is outside the offensive tackle's shoulders. He slants to the inside. So if he's slanting to the inside, there needs to be somebody else over the top of this in this gap. So you see you get a really good double right here, and then you get a second level block on Daddy Stutsman. He elects to go underneath. Is that a hold right there? Some would say that it is. It's debatable. The good news, though, if you're Oklahoma, is Jonathan Brooks is no longer with Texas, right? Blue's a good RB. Don't get it twisted. Texas has decent RBs, but there's no Jonathan Brooks back there. He broke a lot of tackles, of course, made a lot of plays. And when you get in these spots, you've got to be able to bring the ball carriers down to the ground. I think Oklahoma will do well. Alrighty, so we did this breakdown in our Houston breakdown for Oklahoma, and Texas fans, you know all about this run game from Steve Sarkisian. They have so many different looks that they give you, and Oklahoma has done a really good job of this year, okay, which is playing pullers. All right, you notice he decides to wrong arm this puller to the inside and to create a pile in this gap. And then if you're going to wrong arm it or kill and spill it, you got to have a backer right there to fill it. That is how you play defense right there, okay? And you can't really do it that much better. As many Texas fans know, this game was just borderline chaotic in so many different ways. Both teams just made so many just dumb mistakes. But ultimately, I thought Texas's offensive line won the battle of the line of scrimmage, okay? I mean, I want you to see how much movement they're getting here up the middle, okay? So it doesn't help that this DT is trying to penetrate and get upfield. He just swims over the top, and that makes his kick out easy, okay? So, with the RPO stuff, watch how this play sets up the next. You're getting great second-level blocks right here. Everybody's just getting dominated, and this is not Brent Venables vintage Tommy Harris Oklahoma football, okay? That's too easy, and once again, the good news is Jonathan Brooks isn't going to be there to break as many tackles as the Texas RBs would, and this is the issue, is now you can't stop their run, so you bring an extra safety into the box, and guess what Quinn Ewers is going to do? He's going to RPO the hell out of you, okay? So he actually probably still could have handed this football off and it go for a big gain. Yes, this backer would have been unblocked and been able to just fill. But once again, look at this movement. Look at this over penetration right here. And that is a huge gainer. Huge gainer. Again, now, Texas and Ewers, they play so quick, even with the safety coming into the box and just blitzing. Guess what? even with the play action, longer developing RPO, you can still get this football out. And that is basically showing, that run you saw a minute ago. And then instead of running it, you're throwing it, right? If you're Oklahoma, it's tough, but you got to be able to prepare for all of it, and you got to be able to tackle. All right, so what do you do if you're Oklahoma defensively? Well, Texas's best weapons are their offensive tackles, right? They've got a pair of good ones. And one thing you can do is, Thomas 32 has been a big-time just traditional rusher, but give Texas some second and third level pressure looks. Now, you've really got to trust your corners on the outside to step up and make plays on islands, but you never know. You could get Nico just locking in on one side of the field. You could see the offensive tackle late to pick it up, and give these OTs different looks, right? I don't think you're just going to be able to rush them off the edge and beat them and then get pressure on Quinn Ewers, who has overall pretty solid pocket presence. So give them some exotic looks, in particular on those third and mediums. So this security guard making a smart move. Do not get close to Sark pregame. He will literally rip your face off. So Texas's offensive line has just stepped up all season long. I want you to see this here. This is Mason Graham, the best defensive tackle in the sport right now. And you'll see that they double him. They start off with the single, and then the center comes over to help. And watch, they're able to get this guy who's going to be a first-round pick able to get his butt on the ground. And Texas, with Isaiah Bond at the top, is running a double move, okay? I want you to see, man, it is third and Pflugerville here. Still able to put this ball right on the freaking money. Ewers has just been that good. Arch, of course, has also been good. So I want Oklahoma fans, let me know, do you think you match up well versus this unit? Venables having multiple weeks to prepare. The Texas offense was a lot better in their game last year versus this Venables defense than I initially thought that they were. I mean, a lot of the mistakes were Texas's own errors, right? Same thing could be said about Oklahoma. We'll do an Oklahoma offensive breakdown as well. But let me know who you think has the upper hand in this game. And yeah, I'm pretty freaking pumped up. I need to get to the Texas State Fair. I want you to comment below, what is the craziest thing you have ever had there? Okay? I need some type of crazy corn dog with like Fruity Pebbles on it or something. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. And tonight we are doing lemon pepper chicken wings. Let's go.